Hi again, welcome to my channel. This is Vanessa. I'm going to do a small video today of how I make my envelopes. I said I would show that since I kept talking about the paper that I was buying. So I actually made some today. As you can see, this is that paper that I told you, the copy paper that I just bought. It's 8.5 by 11. It's neon colors, and yeah, so far so good. It is a little thin, but it's good enough for what I need it for. So what am I using to make my envelopes? I have the We Are Memory Keepers. I have the punch board, the envelope punch board. I bought this punch board. I believe I bought this punch board on Amazon. The same week I bought the one that makes the little pouches. So I believe I bought the pouch one at Michael's and this one on Amazon. And it's fairly easy to use. So we're going to need this. We're going to need the paper. I'm going to need a paper trimmer. I have a little ruler here. I have the bone, the flattener. I don't remember what it's called, sorry, it's blown my mind right now, but need one of those. And so I'm going to use the green paper right now because I already did it in one of each of the colors. So I got the yellow, the like pink, the fuchsia, and the orange. So, and these are going to fit 4 by 6 cards. On the board there is some tables, and it tells you the card size, the paper size, and where you need to make the score lines. So the card that I want the envelope to be for is 4 by 6. So I need a paper that is 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. And I can, I believe, that's the one, that's the only one I could do, because the paper is 8.5 by 11 and all the other sizes are more than 8.5, so I can't. That's the only one that I can make for that card size, because I was thinking of seeing if I can make it for other card sizes, but I can't. Definitely will not fit in this paper. So I have to cut it down. So I cut it down, and how I like to use my cutting board is I have a little piece of washi tape here that I put it on my mark where I need to cut, I just, maybe this is funny, but I went on YouTube and I kind of looked up how to divide an inch, because I wasn't really sure like where the 1/4 mark was, or the 1/8 and so forth. So I kind of labeled it myself on YouTube, trying to learn how to use a ruler, if that's something funny, but I wasn't really sure where the halves and so forth were. So now I have this as a reference, and I always put my washi tape where I need to have the paper line up to cut it properly, so that I don't have to keep looking where's the mark where I need it. So I'm gonna cut it this way first. So this just cuts me a little slither. I just usually throw this out. Some people might keep this for extra stuff, but these little pieces, garbage for me. Excuse me. And then I'll cut it this way. It has to be the same for both sides. Oops. I'll cut it again. And this one is a little bit bigger, this extra piece that I get, so I keep the bigger pieces, and I'll give you an idea of what you can do with these later. So now I got my square, because it is both sides are equal. what did I say it was? 8 and 8 1/4. 8 1/4, right? Let's see the board again. So when I check 4.5, yeah, 8 1/4. So that's where I had to cut it. So how to use this board is pretty simple. So when I look at where in the chart here that I want the 4x6, it's 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 for the paper size. And then the score line, it tells me that I need to align my paper to the mark that is 3 3/8. 3 3/8, yes. So I just take my card, my paper, and there's a 3, and here it's marked properly for me, so I didn't need to look it up on YouTube or mark it myself. It's already written. And I used to use some extra washi tape to tell me which was the top and the bottom, but I've been using this so often now that I don't really need them anymore. I don't need the guides anymore, so I can actually remove these. So sometimes when one side of the paper is longer than the other, I do still use them kind of, but I've gotten kind of used to it now. So now that I've lined it up with the score line that I need here, 3 3/8. Let me make sure that says 3/8. Yes, it does. 3 3/8. I just push down here, and it makes my first notch. And I score right away. I use the little tool that it comes with, and I make my score line. So the paper is a little bit thin, so it does move quite easily, so I gotta be careful. So I make my first score line. And there is a guide inside already here, right? So it's pretty easy. So then I just flip it, and I take the score line I just made and I put it up against this little lip that it has here, and I kind of make sure that they're equal, and I punch again, so it makes my next notch. Sorry about the noise, my tool fell. And then I score again, and I try to make sure that they're up against the top here as much as possible. I score again. Turn it over, and this one should be when I put the lip here against the score mark, it should be back at 3 3/8, which it is. And I punch, of course, and I make the other. I do it again, score line, and I do them pretty deep because if I don't, then they're not going to fold properly. So I make them pretty deep. Just be careful not to break the paper. I have in the past, so gotta be careful. I turn it again. I put the lip that it gives me here with the line that I made. Punch my hole, punch my notch, do my last score line. And remember that I chose this thin paper because when I was making it with my thicker paper, just making these score lines was making my paper crack, and I didn't like it. So I'm happy with this paper so far. Okay, and then so now I have my envelope. That's not made yet. And I'm going to fold it. So fold it this way. So sometimes, I don't know why the lines don't always come out straight, but it might be my default, I don't know. Do it again. Oh, and I forgot these little pieces to move them over. So yeah, so when you punch, actually, there's just a hole here, so it just comes out. And so I'm just going to complete this, sorry. So. So I got all my parts of my envelopes. So, it does come, so if you turn it around, there's another punching area here. And what that does is it rounds the top of the envelope, which is really cute. I do have another rounder, but I use this one. And you could do the same with the bottom one. Just like that. And you can leave it like this, with this little lip up here, if you like. I'm not a fan. I used to leave them like this, and then I saw on YouTube, I can't remember her name, but I couldn't find the link and put it in. Another YouTuber, she did she did a video, and she made these cute little envelopes for Santa Claus, and I believe she used this as well. But what she did is she just she eyeballed it and she cut this off. So I kind of like them better now that I saw her video. I like it better when you open it and this is cut off. I think that all envelopes are like that, and I'm not even sure, but I never noticed, and I used to always keep my envelopes like this. And but now I like it better cut, so I just eyeball it. Actually, you can use this ruler, and I just measure kind of like here, like I check where the edges are here, like where these kind of meet the paper, and I just with my ruler fold it back, so I kind of have an idea where I want to cut it. And you can just cut it if you like, but I use my board here, I guess, just to get a straighter line. And you can just eyeball it as well. You don't have to use that ruler that I used. So that's it. I just cut off the little corner. So if you don't feel like it, you don't need to cut it off. It's up to you. When I saw her do it, I said, oh, that looks much cleaner than not having it. I mean, than having the rounded tip here. So this is what they look like. And then I use my glue tape that I bought at the dollar store. Excuse me. And I just glue them down. Excuse me. I'm just getting over a cold, so my throat gets dry when I talk too much. So here we go. And that's it, and I just fold it over. And that's it. And if, you know, maybe you want to put some Scotch tape here if you're mailing it to somebody, just to make sure it stays sealed. And then here I usually put double-sided tape, or this as well, and some Scotch tape. And that's it, and I got my envelopes now. And so I already pre-made some, just to have them. And what I was thinking with these is I can cut them into little shapes, and I can make them as labels. Same thing, use them, write the person's address, write mine, and since I have all the colors, I can mix and match them for, you know, for them to have like cute little labels for their names and their addresses. So I thought that I would keep these for that. I can even make tags for them with them or whatever. So bigger pieces of extra paper I keep, smaller ones I throw away right away. I used to keep everything. That became very messy. So now I only keep what I need or what I think could be used 100%. If I don't think I'm going to use it, garbage. Sorry to say that, but I can't keep everything. I live in an apartment now. Not enough space. So, but these ones I kept. So that's my envelope video. And thanks so much for showing up. Thanks so much for coming to watch. Subscribe, like the video. If you enjoyed it, come back to my next videos. Thank you again. Have a great day.